Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to give a comprehensive review of Monster Hunter Wilds after its first year, looking at the game, how it launched, how it's currently evolving after 4 major updates, and whether or not it's worth ultimately playing again after a full year of support. And if you like the video, it means the world to me if you subscribed, leave the like. I do videos like this pretty often. With that being said, hope you enjoy my thoughts on and review for Monster Hunter Wilds 1 year later. Monster Hunter Wilds released with strong, generally positive impressions, especially when it came to its world design and gameplay foundation. Early on, I saw a lot of people praising the low-rank experience, particularly in the immersive environments, the way monsters behave more dramatically within the ecosystem. At the same time, initial feedback did bring up a lot of issues the game had. High rank in-game lacked any real difficulty, and progression leaned a lot more into RNG than previous titles like Worlds. But the worst of them all had to be the really bad performance and optimization of the game across all platforms. Even with those issues, Wilds was still widely viewed as a worthwhile entry, especially because of major quality of life improvements, like crossplay support, which made it easy for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox players to all hunt together. Granted, the user interface for multiplayer is kinda bad, but I digress. Wild launched with great ambition with it being open world and all, but the endgame experience and performance left a lot to be desired. The game felt incomplete, and until later updates, it didn't really feel like a complete game. But that's what we're here to talk about, right? The first major update of the game was Title Update 1, and while launch version of Wilds was substantial, I think the Year 1 support cycle is what truly shaped it to be a complete experience. Each major update I'm going to talk about is going to add new monsters, events, difficulty tiers, and new progression systems that gradually strengthen the overall package, right? And I'll start with Title Update 1, Spring of 2025, which added a hub expansion and early endgame additions, right? Title Update 1 was Wild's first major expansion, update, whatever you want to call it, right? And it focused on restoring missing content like endgame bosses, monster hunts, right? While introducing some community features, right? The biggest highlight of this update was the return of Mitsusune, bringing back a fan-favorite Leviathan-style hunt that added variety to the early high-rank roster, right? This update also added the Gathering Hub, which became one of the game's most important social spaces. Alongside that came the beginning of Wild's seasonal event cycle, giving the game more atmosphere in between hunts during certain seasons of the year, right? And other notable additions included a Zoshia rematch, expanding the high-rank progression, right? As well as armor set and introduction of Arch-Temper difficulty, adding some real endgame content to the game, as well as some new arena quests and challenge quests, offering a structured combat test outside the main hunt loop. And of course, they added some more DLCs, mostly cosmetic, and some few free stuff as well. While I think these additions were appreciated, I also saw many players argue that Update 1 included content that should have been in the game at launch. Update didn't add too much cool stuff, but what it did add felt underwhelming to most players. Title Update 2, Summer of 2025, would see difficulty growth and some system refinement. Title Update 2 felt like a turning point for Wilds, especially in addressing concerns about high rank depth and difficulty, and the overall long-term replay value of the game. And launched alongside version 1.0.2 with the director letter outlining Capcom's roadmap and response to community feedback. Headline monsters, which I don't think I can pronounce, but I'll put them up on screen right now, were both long requested additions and that significantly strengthened the roster and encounter variety. And some other additions included Arch-Tempered Uthduna, continuing to expand the endgame challenge, right? And a new seasonal content, Festival Accord, Flame Feti, with new cosmetic rewards and hub atmosphere changes, right? And overall, some wide-reaching balance changes, right? Removing weapon tuning and quest pacing. And also the introduction of layered weapons, expanding customization beyond your armor. Update 2 also included some DLC packs, some free content, and it was kind of refreshing compared to Update 1. Overall, I think this update was widely seen as restoring confidence in the game's long-term direction, and it gave the players some confidence that more updates and bigger ones would be down the line. And there was. Update Title 3, which came out fall of 2025, was a collaboration event and also added some more endgame content. The main part of this update was the collaboration with Final Fantasy and the introduction of a new monster, the Omega Plates. This fight was designed to be a spectacle, a challenge, and became one of the most mechanically distinct hunts I think Wilds received in its first year. The update also included the Dark Knight armor sets, new Pictomancy spells, which came with the Final Fantasy collab, new Endemic Life, and further enrichment of exploration, multiple collaboration rewards, including a rideable chocobo, including various cosmetics and event gear. And this quest is still available and was made permanent. The endgame difficulty was expanded with Arch-Tempered New Udra, offering more aggressive and punishing hunts, as well as some new movesets as well. And the seasonal event for this period was Dream Spell. Like previous updates, Update 3 also delivered some additional DLC, some free content drops, and lastly, the most recent title update, Winter of 2025, Gogmazos, and an overall, I guess, a little bit more endgame content. Title Update 4 was easily the most defining update for Wilds in its first year. Interesting the turn of Gogmazos, which is one of the franchise's most anticipated large-scale Other Dragon encounters, and T represented a major escalation in spectacle and difficulty, functioning as a more raid-level style hunt designed for veteran endgame players. Alongside this hunt, he added some new high-tier tempered quest tiers, major endgame gear progression expansions, and a significant jump in challenge for experienced hunters with some more arch-tempered monsters. This update marked Wilds entering the most demanding phase, and it set a foundation for what I think might be an excellent year 2 for Monster Hunter Wilds. And all these arch-tempered hunts that were added with most of these updates, as well as Gogmazos, right, really helped define and build up the endgame that most people really wanted, and I think they really did deliver on that. Because should there be more? Yes, but what we have right now is pretty good in terms of endgame content. Gogma weapon upgrades introduce real-world bonuses, mechanics, and adding deeper grind potential. And for build variety, the Transcendence process further expanded progression by increasing the level cap of lower, high-rank gear, preventing older equipment from becoming instantly obsolete once you get the next best thing. That being said, RNG heavy mechanics remained pretty decisive in what I've seen so far. I saw plenty of players argue that randomness reduced control over setting up your like a build, right? And I can kind of get that. You want to like make a certain build, whether it maximizes damage, sharpness, or whatever, right? But you have to keep re-rolling your Gogma weapons in order to get buffs that you want on it. And it can be pretty expensive and time-consuming to do because it requires materials to re-roll it. But throughout year 1, Capcom implemented multiple balance patches, weapon changes, including the Greatsword combo, added some refinements to it, and overall improved its scaling, which reflected an approach focusing on polishing some mechanics rather than redesigning them or adding new ones. I was about to upload this video, but then Capcom just announced another update on Wednesday, February 18th, 2026. Monster Hunter Wilds will be releasing a Arch-Tempered Archveld, which is a 10-star quest, some new unique event quests in collaboration with Monster Hunter Stories 3, as well as some cosmetics for the game. All seem to be very free, right? As well as the Festival Accord being cycled in and out for weekly to get previous content you may have missed. I think all these updates helped Wilds feel smoother and more responsive over time. While not perfect, it is getting better. And some areas of criticism that I have for the game, of course, is performance and optimization, right? Launch performance was it was horrible, probably the worst running game I played last year, and even more so during large-scale enemy encounters. Capcom responded with a major CPU/GPU optimization patch in December, followed up by an additional update early this year. And by the end of year 1, performance was vastly improved compared to launch, though inconsistencies still remain depending on your platform and what hardware you do run. Early high rank was often viewed as undertuned, while later 9+ star quests were sometimes overtuned. Subsequent patches would improve this, and the overall health of the game, though, definitely needs some more difficulty rebalancing, extended armor upgrades, and higher rarity gear. I think changes like these could help stabilize the in-game experience even more. And so after 1 year, I do think Monster Hunter Worlds is worth your time. Maybe not at full price, maybe at a good sale, but it is the most ambitious modern Monster Hunter title I've played. And it has some pretty good strengths to it. An immersive ecosystem, expanded narrative focus I didn't really cover in this video all that much since I did it my first video, and a much better improved endgame. Granted, you have to grind to get to rank 100, but in the end, it is worth it. It has had some really strong post-launch support and refinement. And while the game launched with some pretty awful flaws, especially in performance, instability, and just overall progression in RNG, I think the overall experience is vastly improved, right? Ultimately, I would say the pros outweigh the cons in this game, but I can understand this is purely subjective, and this is just my opinion. And opinions will vary on this topic, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get some pretty nasty comments in the description, but you know what? That's okay. You get what you get, am I right? And I think Wilds has grown highly worthwhile as a Monster Hunter experience. My main hope is that moving forward with year 2 of this game, it receives more free content. Even though they said they were done with it, I hope we do get something, more stuff before the main major expansion that comes out in like a few years from now, right? And I hope that future titles will not suffer the same errors that this one had on day one. And that concludes my year one review of Monster Hunter Wilds. Which title update had the biggest impact on you? Which monster do you think is the most challenging to fight? And what direction do you want Wilds to take in year two? And of course, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.